Hi, I'm Cindy Collier. Welcome to my channel. Today, I just want to take about 5 minutes to highlight a couple of the resources that I have on my website. My website is cindycollier.org, and if you'll look under the resources, I have a long list of different things that you can print off free. I'm constantly putting things up there as they come up. They come to my mind, God brings them to my mind, or I'm walking through and I need something myself. A couple of those I want to highlight today, and they're all geared around women. One of them, if you'll look, please print them and use them, share them, whatever. That's what they're there for. I base this on 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Encourage one another and build one another up, just as you're doing. We need to encourage other women. It's very important because we go through some tough things in this life, and so we need the encouragement of other women. It's not always a social activity that we need. Sometimes we just need someone to listen. And these are just 10 things that may help you to support other women, because sometimes it's hard. You really don't know what to do. One of them is to seek to build safe relationships, and that safe relationships is a confidential relationship. If anyone tells you something in confidence, you need to keep it. Keep it that way. That should be in confidence, because they are pouring out their hearts. You may do more damage if you take that and share that with someone else. That's their story. If they want to share that with someone else, let them. That's not your job to share it with someone else. Take a true interest. Sometimes when we go and we are, meeting with other women, sometimes we're tired and we think, oh, I've got a million things to do, or, my mind is on an issue that I'm having problems with. But take an interest. Take that few minutes and take an interest in them, because they need you, and God has given you that task for that moment. Stop passing judgment. We need to remember that until you walk a mile in their shoes, don't pass judgment. They may be in a different place in their spiritual walk. None of us have the same story. So don't pass judgment. Also follow instead of leading all the time. If we're encouraging other women, we can also follow. There are women out there with a lot of gifts, a lot stronger than I have. So be a follower. Be one who takes in, not just always gives out. God has placed certain people in your life for that reason. Be flexible, give and take. Encourage that, not demand that they conform. That is not our job. Our job is to point them to Jesus. And they are to listen to Jesus. He is the one to give the task, not us. We can suggest things, but not demand things. Guide others always to a relationship with Jesus, because we don't have the answers. We cannot fix anything. Also recognize another person's spiritual journey. They may not be a believer. They may be a very young believer. They may have walked with the Lord a lot longer than I have, but still needs an ear. They need someone to listen to them, because they may be walking through a tough time, maybe grief, something. Take measure of your own spiritual walk before you try to mentor someone else. That is what the book of Titus 2 is all about. Go back and read that, and Paul was telling Titus, examine your own life before you begin to mentor other women. Also, treat everyone as an equal, not as your followers. Those are just things to remember. We all get caught up in a lot of things. So the other one is the tips for counseling women. That is on there. This is not to turn you into a therapist, because I'm not a therapist. This is not to do that. It's for a lay ministry. It's, your friend, one of the pastors has asked you to meet with someone. You just notice someone's going through a tough time. You're just going to meet with them as a lay person. If they've got serious issues that you do not think that you can handle, always refer them to someone who can. So there are some basic tips. Listen more than you talk. And for us women, sometimes some of us are a little more talky than others. So take notice of how much you're talking and not listening. They didn't come there to hear you talk. They came to give their story. Sometimes it takes a little encouragement for them to do that. Also, welcome them with eye contact. Don't sit behind a desk like this. Sit, facing them with that open counseling posture. I'm here, I'm listening, you're important. I'm going to listen, I'm here for you. Also, meet in a neutral environment. That's a safe environment, not where other people are going to hear. Meet over coffee. For me, it's meet over a Diet Coke, somewhere. The basic tips and spiritual tips I put on here, don't go in thinking that you can fix the issue, because we can't. Our job is only to point them to Jesus. Point them to Jesus. Confidentiality, I put this on there. It's very important. Give your story. All of us have unique stories and testimonies. Give your story in tiny bits. If asked, you can tell them some of your story. But don't go in and think, here's my story. No, you need to hear their story. And you may give snippets of yours, but this is about them. It's not about you. Follow up with them. If you say you're going to follow up, do so, because that's important. Let them cry if they need to. Just let them cry. Be that safe person they can cry on. But also, don't be afraid to redirect. Don't be afraid, okay, let's, if they're yelling and screaming and upset and whatever, don't be afraid to redirect them back to the task. Also, expect to be feelings and emotions. Emotions are just a response to something, but a feeling is filtered through your experiences, your personality, your culture, the things, all your trauma, all of that. So it's different. Spiritual tips begin and end in prayer. If you take your Bible, don't preach at them. They don't need that. They just need to listen, a godly woman to listen to them. Go and read the 2nd chapter of Titus. It's a great chapter. God has given you this task for this moment, and He has gifted you for this moment. So point them to Jesus. That is where their answers come from. Respect their own spiritual journey. Give them a resource. Give them something. If you know the issue, maybe look up some resources that they can go to and do some research on their own afterwards. If you don't know the story, follow up with them and give them. Connect them with other women, some godly women, and don't be judgmental. Now, the myths, are a couple of myths that I put down here in facts to go against that. Thinking you have been through something similar, you know exactly what they should do. Probably not. Probably not. So the fact is, everybody is unique. Every story is unique. You've got your own culture, your own perspective, your own history. Just because your story came ended a certain way doesn't mean theirs will. So that is a myth and a fact. The myth, everything she said happened exactly as described. Sometimes when we go through trauma, we go through different things that are challenging. Sometimes our perspective may be skewed. It's just one side. Not that she's being dishonest, but it's just filtering through her. So there may be another side of the story. Not that you are to go find that out. That's not your job. But just go in knowing that you are hearing one perspective through one person. Not that they're dishonest, but just have that in the back of your mind. The verse that I base this on, 2 Corinthians 1:4, I love this verse. It's about being comfort. It says, so that we can comfort others with the same comfort that we were given by God. So we are also commissioned to comfort others with that same comfort. So I hope that this helps. Please look the resources and print off, use it however you want, share it with other people, and I know that God is going to bless your ministry. Thank you.